You can look, feel, and perform your best in 2026 without locking in. I think we do ourselves a major disservice, particularly in the fitness industry, when we talk about hitting our goals. There's a common theme or thread, specifically in the fitness industry, that we don't tend to find in other areas of life, which is an obsession over all or none. This all or none mentality. And it is that all or none mentality, being off the wagon, falling off plan, not doing right, and then locking in, right? You fix this by locking in. And I think our language, the words that we use, the words that we hear ourselves and listen to others speak, we agree with, they shape how we think about things. And if you view fitness as something that you need to be locked in on, you need to be perfectly dialed in on, you are not going to be successful long term. It's unlikely. And if that all or none mentality has worked for you, fantastic. But the vast majority of people that I talk to, easily 95% plus, it doesn't work for them. Because fitness, like any other area of life, is not something that demands or requires perfection. If you want a great marriage, you don't have to be a perfect spouse. There's never been a perfect spouse on the face of the planet. If you want to be a great mom or dad, you don't have to be perfect, because there's never been a perfect mom or dad on the face of the planet. If you want to be great at work, in your career, with your business, with your volunteer work, whatever you're working on, it doesn't require perfection. Yet we talk about fitness, health and fitness, like it's something we need to be perfect with. And you don't. Because if you are trying to be perfect, you will fail. You will fail being perfect. You can't do it. You will not perfectly execute your plan, I guarantee you. But because people set that expectation of wanting to be perfect, feeling like they need to be perfect, locked in, dialed in, etc., well, when they fall off the plan and they're, a little less than perfect, then they quit because they're discouraged and they think they don't have what it takes to get results, or they'll try again next week, next month, next year, whatever. There's a better way to approach your health and fitness in 2026. And it's not being locked in. I would refer to it as being a faithful steward with the work that's in front of you. I talk about this idea of being a faithful steward with my team a lot. Part of being a faithful steward means, yes, that you're not going to be lazy, but it also means that you're not going to hustle and grind all the time and try to do all the things all the time. Being a faithful steward just means you're going to work hard with focus and diligence on the things that are actually going to move the needle. And when it comes to fitness, there are only a handful of things that you need to do consistently, week in and week out. And if you do that consistently, not perfectly, doesn't mean you never miss a workout or never have an off meal or off day or even off week. But if you do it consistently, you will radically change your life. And shifting from an all or none mentality to an I'm going to do the best I can with what I have. And sometimes that's close to perfection. Sometimes that's 90 to 95%. Sometimes it's 100% dialed in for a period of time. But sometimes it's 60%. It's 50%. And that is okay. If you change from this all or none thinking to an I'm going to do the best I can with what I have, ironically, you will get better results with what might feel like less than perfect effort. So what are the areas that matter? Strength training, nutrition, walking, or some type of cardio you enjoy. And then other things that are important, of course, hydration, sleep, rest and recovery, things like that. But the main three that you need to execute on consistently are strength training, nutrition, and walking. And when you do that consistently, you only need a little bit of each at a bare minimum. I'm not saying you should only do the bare minimum, but even if you just did the bare minimum consistently in 2026, you will radically change how you look, how you feel, how you perform, and your health. And if you do more than the minimum I'm about to spell out for you, then you're just going to get results even faster. Okay? You need to strength train 2 days a week for about 45 minutes. You need to hit each muscle group about twice per week. 2 full body workouts. 2 45-minute full body strength training workouts per week. That's it. You need to, if you want to lose weight, you need to eat in a calorie deficit, somewhere between 300 to 700 calories. Some people will track, some people don't need to track. But regardless of whether you're tracking or not, you do need to eat in a small to moderate calorie deficit so you can lose weight consistently. You want to get about 0.7 grams of protein per pound of body weight, so 0.7 times your goal body weight. For simple math, if your goal is 200 pounds, 0.7 times 200 is 140 grams. You can get away with less than that. I said I was going to give you the minimums. You can get away with probably if you did 0.5 grams per pound of your goal body weight, you're doing pretty good. That 0.7 is going to be closer to optimal. And if you'll get about 6,000 steps per day in, you could probably get away with less, but if you get about 6,000 steps per day, you will change your life. And again, anything beyond that, if you want to train a third day per week, you want to create a slightly larger deficit as long as you feel good, you want to get a little bit more protein, you want to walk more than 6,000 steps per day, fantastic. It's just going to speed up the process a little bit. Okay? But if you want to change your life, the person who consistently trains 2 days a week, walks 6,000 steps a day, and is in a mild, small to moderate calorie deficit, and they eat a decent amount of protein, 0.5 to 0.7 grams per pound of goal body weight. If somebody who does that all year with 80% consistency, they miss some days, some weeks here and there, is going to see way better results than the person who takes, a week, 2 weeks, a month, maybe 2 months, starves themselves, trains 6 days a week, 4, 5, 6 days a week, walks like crazy, does a bunch of cardio, tries to eat absurd amounts of protein, which is overrated anyway for most people, but and they eat in a huge calorie deficit. I may have already said that, but that person, yeah, they'll see progress for, as long as they're doing that, but that's not even ideal long term. Even if you're trying to optimize, you want to maximize the progress you can make. It's still probably less work than the all or none mentality tells you that you need to do. It's a horrible way of thinking about things, and it's keeping people stuck. So aim for somewhere between stop aiming for, I'm going to do all the things that you feel like you should do, and instead do the handful of things that I just laid out. Okay? Do them, even at the minimum levels I laid out. Anything else is just a bonus on top. It's the cherry on top of the ice cream sundae. A little bit of extra goodness there for you. But if you just do the minimum amount that I just laid out, you will radically change your life in 2026, and you will have far more success than any year you've ever had previously where you've taken an all or none mentality. So no need to lock in 2026. Just be faithful across strength training, nutrition, and walking, or some other cardio, and you will radically change your life.